Hello, welcome back to another episode of Mind, Money, Soul. And today is the Money Hotline, where I ask you to send in your questions and I answer them. So this question is, I keep dipping in and out of debt. Please, can you help? So let's talk about it. The key thing is really just identifying what is making you dip back into debt. What is it? Because without that data, without that knowledge, you cannot make a plan. Data just allows you to make a plan. So look at it completely unbiased, like you would a friend's finances, and make draw some conclusions and look for some patterns around what is happening with your finances. So here are some potentials of what it could be. One, you could potentially be paying too much debt off every single month and not leaving yourself with enough to spend. I see this happen all the time, where people go on a debt-free journey and they get so excited or motivated or ready to just clear it that they end up overstretching themselves or overexerting themselves, and all that does is put them off in a worse position, because they pay a load off at the start or the end of the month. They then get to close to the end of the month before they get paid again, and they're like, shit, I don't have any money left. So what they end up doing is spending back on those credit cards. Some of the money or most of the money that they've paid off with has just gone back up again, and then they just repeated the cycle. Now, even if they had only cleared £50 off of that card, instead of, let's just say, okay, here's an example. You get paid. You pay £500 off of your credit card. You then leave yourself with like £300. You realise that £300 is not enough to live off. It gets to near the end of the week or midway through the month, and you just start tapping on your credit card, and you end up spending like £400. And really, in that instance, you've only then cleared £100. But you feel shit because you paid it off and then you dip back into it, even though technically you've made some progress. So in that instance, it would have been better that you just pay off £100, or maybe stretch it to £200 and give yourself more money to live off of. Now, when it comes to this, you might need to find different ways to cut back and different ways to make more money. So the cutting back part is like, let's just say then in that example, you'd left yourself with £300 to spend, but you ended up spending an extra £400 again back on your credit cards. That brings you up to £700 of like disposable spending. Do you actually need to be spending that? Genuinely? Like, is that how much it costs to be you? Or can you look at that money and say, there are probably places that I could cut back. I don't actually have to spend that much. I could probably cut that down to 600 or 500 by being more mindful. Now, the key thing here with this is like, when we're clearing debt, we're the ones who get to decide how much would I like to clear off? How quickly would I like to get this debt gone? You're the only one who can decide that. But that being said, and also we have to take into account there might be interest that you're being charged, which therefore means it's costing you to have that debt, so you might want to get it gone quicker. But it's not going to get any quicker if you keep paying it off and then spending on it again. So really understanding how different places you can cut back, and then also where can I make some more money to get that debt gone quicker. Now, another thing that might be happening is that you're overspending and you're not disciplined enough with your spending. If you are struggling to clear your debt because you keep dipping back in and out of it again, you need to get really honest with yourself and look at your financial and spending habits, because it could be that you're actually overspending and you're not disciplined enough with your budget or your spending plan, and therefore you just keep making loads of crazy random impulse purchases that you can't actually afford. Now, painfully, especially when we're clearing debt and we're going on our money journey, you have to make sacrifices. It's shit, but it's just how it is. You have to make sacrifices. You can have anything you want, but you can't have everything you want all at once. So really just deciding what are the places I'm okay with making sacrifices in the short term to bring myself up and be in that place where I am then debt free. That is going to help propel you forward, because you're making choices, mindful choices, and prioritizing your spending habit. And another example of one reason why you might keep dipping in and out of debt is that your relationship with money is based in fear and scarcity, and there's a deep subconscious part of you that feels when you get debt free, you're scared because you don't know what that looks like. It's the unknown. Our brains will choose a familiar hell over an unfamiliar heaven. So it's more likely to stay in the discomfort of whatever is going on because it is what it knows, versus working towards something that on the other side could be beautiful and perfect and wonderful, but it is the unknown and it doesn't know what it looks like. So if you have a poor relationship with money and you are scared of it, or you are scared of holding on to it, your body and your brain might not know what it feels like to be debt free and to hold on to money and to have money. So that is going to hold you back from clearing your debt and actually saving. So you really want to explore your relationship with money and understand, what is the fear here? What is it that's holding me back? Like, learning how to remind yourself that you are capable of managing money and you are capable of having money, but also teaching your brain and body what it feels like to have money. And that's where like visualization and meditation can be so useful, because you can literally visualize yourself with money, being debt free, having savings, and you can make it feel safe in your body. So how can you set yourself up for success when it comes to clearing debts? So first off, you need to have a plan. You need to have a debt management plan. You cannot just assume that this debt is just going to figure out itself. So you need to know, who do you owe? How much do you owe? What is the balance at currently? What is your limit? What is the APR? Is it 0% interest, or are you being charged? And what is the minimum monthly repayment that you have to make? So if you get that for every single loan, store card, credit card, and just list it all out and put all of your debt in one place, it allows you to then make a plan. Then you need to put some practical things in place that are going to actually help you clear the debt. So first of all, figure out, like, what is it that is making me spend on my credit card, or what is it that got me into debt? Was it spending money on clothes? Was it spending money on takeaways? Was it spending money on, whatever it is? And then put friction between you and that thing. So for example, if it's takeaways you really struggle with, make sure that you delete Deliveroo, you delete Uber Eats, you delete Just Eat. Get rid of them off your phone, make it harder for yourself, and do a weekly food shop so that you've got like food in the house. And I remember seeing this thing from the broke generation, my friend Emma, who said one of the reasons why we end up spending a lot of money on takeaways is because diet culture has taught us that bad food, naughty food, is not good for you. There are certain types of food that you cannot have. So therefore we don't buy it. We don't buy the kids' foods, the pizzas, the chips. We don't have that in our house because we're always just eating really healthy and clean food, or at least being told we should be. But then what happens is you get to Friday and you want something a little bit cheeky, or something a little bit naughty, and then you're getting a takeaway. But you can prepare yourself and make your own, like, quote unquote naughty foods at home. But that is just basically food that is there to be enjoyed. And finding ways to do this, so that would be the one if you're always like shopping on overspending on food. If you're overspending on clothes, unsubscribe from those marketing emails. We all know that ASOS be sending everybody a discount code on Sunday afternoon when everyone is hungover and probably shopping on their phones. Delete. Then you're not going to be tempted. Take your credit card off of your Apple Pay so that you are not tempted to just tap and not think about it. Because online spending nowadays is easier than ever with all of these one-click purchases, and that it removes the connection between you and your spending. So what you're doing is you're putting friction in between you and spending money that you don't want to spend. Then, how are you actually talking to yourself about clearing your debt? It's really important to acknowledge the way that you are talking to yourself. You have to tell yourself you are capable of getting out of debt. You have to tell yourself that you're capable of managing your money. You have to visualize yourself what it looks like on this debt-free journey, what it looks like once you've got there, how it's going to feel in your body, the things you're going to be able to do, how proud of yourself you are, how glad that you went on that journey, how you feel. If you can embody that feeling first, it is going to move you in the direction of clearing your debt, because your behavior is going to align with your feeling. So that is why changing your language and visualizing a different reality of yourself is so powerful. And remember, it might be a slow process, but quitting is not going to be the thing that helps you get there. There is only good stuff on the other side of this journey. There is only positivity and things that are going to support you on your journey. It is going to increase your net worth. It's going to get you one step closer to financial independence and security. And that, my friends, is a win. They are the things that we want to work towards, whatever that looks like to you. So hopefully this will help you when it comes to dipping in and out of your debt. And if you have any thoughts, if you have any questions, please do slide into my DMs. Oh, also another one to add to this, I talk about this all the time: automate your finances, or clear your debt, by automating your finances. Thank you. I just wanted to add that on at the end. But thank you all for tuning in. And I actually have a becoming debt-free one-to-one money coaching package. So if you're interested, I will put the link in the show notes below. And I hope you all have an amazing week, and I will see you next. Mwah.